Lumui savadana mate Jahara prasade vai Ebhavatoriya jai Jahara prasade vai Ebhavatoriya jai Krishna prapti hoy jaha aite Krishna prapti hoy jaha aite Guru mukha padma vakya Sitete koriya aikya Guru mukha padma vakya Sitete koriya aikya Arana kori hone asa Arana kori homane asa Guru charane rati ese utama gati Shri Guru charane rati ese utama gati Jai prasade pure sarva asa Jai prasade pure sarva asa Shakudana diro je janne janne prabhu se Shakudana diro je janne janne prabhu se Divya gyan ride prokasito Divya gyan ride prokasito Prema bhakti jai hoite avidya vinasayate Prema bhakti jai hoite avidya vinasayate Vedigay jahara charito Lokanath lokera divana Mahaprabhu koro daya deho more padachaya Mahaprabhu koro daya deho more padachaya Ebejatu Sukribhuvana Ebejatu Sukribhuvana Mahaprabhu Korodaya Deho More Padachaya Mahaprabhu Korodaya Deho More Padachaya Ebejatu Sukribhuvana Duipad Loila Charana Prabhupada Patita Pavana Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavari Pastacha Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, 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 Nitai Gauranga. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Nitai 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 Gauranga, Nitai 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 Gauranga. Nitai 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 Gauranga, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sham Sundar Radha, Sham Sundar Hare. Jayo Radha, Sham Sundar Radha, Sham Sundar Hare. Jayo Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jayo Krishna Balaram. Jayo Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jayo Krishna Balaram. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Acharya Shrimad Divine Grace Swami Sridhar Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Mayapur Dham ki jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Yamuna Mai ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Tulsi Devi ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. So, tomorrow is Friday, and as usual we have our Friday afternoon Harinam in front of UF on 13th Street. So we request all devotees as much as possible to turn out. But that has been one of the longest standing Harinams pretty much, definitely in Florida and probably even in the US. So we request devotees to turn out. And a week from this Sunday, that's June 29th, will be our 9th annual Tampa Bay Ratha Yatra. Even though it's not a very big route there, we request devotees to turn out as much as possible. The bus is free. It leaves at 7:15. And prasadam will be provided, breakfast on the bus. So don't worry about that. And we just want to say that from that preaching, now we have a thriving preaching center, ISKCON Preaching Center in Tampa. That's the result of which, from this Ratha Yatra, partly that manifested, so it's a very wonderful preaching opportunity. So once more I want to request everyone to turn out and support, because our preaching, Lord Chaitanya's mission is congregational, chanting, congregational preaching. So when we turn out in large numbers, we tend to attract more people. Just like Srila Prabhupada talked about, money attracts money. So we have a larger crowd, we tend to attract more people. So please turn out for that. Are there any other announcements that one may know of? Okay. So here are the devotees who assisted their spiritual masters in dressing the deities this morning. Sri Sri Radhasham Sundar, Mother Jayanti. Sri Sri Chota Radhasham Sundar, Mother Leela Devi Dasi. Sri Sri Krishna Balaram, Mother Nanda. Chota Krishna Balaram, Mother Guru Prasad. Sri Sri Gaunitai, Mother Rasasaki. Chota Gaunitai, Mother Ekadasi Vrata. And the Gurus and Lord Nrsimhadev is Krishna Kripa Moi Prabhu. And Mother Jai Gauri is going to give the class this morning. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Hare Krishna. Alright, so we're going to sing Jai Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Vedaka Acharya Shtota Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Jai. So we are reading today Srimad Bhagavatam, the killing of Kamsa. This is the last of the chapter 44. We are reading texts 48 to 51. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we do responsibly the first 48. Okay, so let's do the word for word first. Sarvesham, of all, Iha, in this world, Bhutanam, living beings, Eshaha, this, Shri Krishna, he, certainly, Prabhava, the origin, Apyayaha, and disappearance, Gopta, the maintainer, Cha, Tat, of him, Avadyayi, one who is neglectful, Nakvachit, never, Sukham, happily, Edate, prospers. I'm going to do my best here. Sarvesham iha bhutanam Eshahi prabhavapyaya Gopta chatad avadyayi Nakachit sukham edate Sarvesham iha bhutanam Eshahi prabhavapyaya Gopta chatad avadyayi Nakvachit sukham edhate. Please chant. Ladies? Anybody? Everybody's... Shahi Prabhavyaya Rukta Chatatava Makvachan Sukun Edate. Translation. Lord Krishna causes the appearance and disappearance of all beings in this world, and he is their maintainer as well. One who disrespects him can never prosper happily. So this is still the wives of Kamsa speaking. And so I guess we have a few more verses. I'll just go through the Sanskrit and translations myself. Shri Shukauvacha Raja Yosita Ashvasya Bhagavad Loka Bhavana Yam Ahur Laukikim Samstam Hatanam Samakarayat. Sukadeva Goswami said, after consoling the royal ladies, Lord Krishna, sustainer of all the worlds, arranged for the prescribed funeral rites to be performed. Text 50. Mataram pitaram chaiva mochait vatha vandanat Krishna ramo bhavandate shirasha sprishya padayo. Then Krishna and Balaram released their mother and father from bondage and offer obeisances to them, touching their feet with their heads. Devaki Vasudevascha Vigyaya Jagat Ishvaro Krita Sambandhano Putro Sasvajate Sankito. Devaki and Vasudeva, now knowing Krishna and Balaram to be the lords of the universe, simply stood with joined palms, being apprehensive. They did not embrace their sons. And this is the end. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the 10th canto, 44th chapter of the Bhagavatam, entitled The Killing of Kamsa. So here we have the last bit of this chapter. And the wives of Kamsa have just seen their husbands being slaughtered. Well, literally, just totally. They were famous Kshatriyas, big men. You know, they had their weapons. They were proud of their pride and their prowess. And to be humiliated by two little boys, you know, a symbol of all the Mathuravasis. So they had seen all that happen. And there was a purport. It was a purport, the verse before was yesterday's verse, that clarifies, you know, a lot of the what's happening, how they react. So the wives of Kamsa and Kamsa's brothers, there were 8 brothers. So all their wives, and they had more than just one wife. So they were all lamenting. And they were very grievous. But in the purport it says that because they suffered a lot by seeing this scene happen to their husband, by that intense grieving, they became purified. And so the verse that we're having today, 48, is they acknowledging that Krishna is the Supreme Person, that Krishna is the maintainer of all and the cause of all causes. They saying that one who disrespects him cannot be happy in this world. So that's their acknowledgement. And Krishna was a very, I was thinking of talking today about how Krishna is a very good family member, because although he was destined to kill Kamsa, everybody knew of the prophecy. Krishna killed only Kamsa because he had to. It was part of the prophecy. And Balaram killed the other brothers. Balaram, was not related to Devaki. He was a son of Rohini. So it wasn't sinful for him to kill the brothers of Kamsa. They were brothers of Devaki. And so Krishna is a good nephew. He's, those ladies, they were lamenting, they were his aunts. And he personally arranged for the funeral rites of Kamsa and the brothers. So this also we also see here that the memories of the birth of Narayan when Vasudeva and Devaki, Krishna, right immediately after he went to release Vasudeva and Devaki, and they had the memory of the birth, how Krishna, when he appeared in four-armed form, Vishnu, with all his opulences. And that image was very, firm in their minds, in their hearts. So they knew that he was the Supreme Person. And plus the prophecy, that their son. So that's how they knew that was his son, because he killed Kamsa. Anyways, we'll do that later. So they, without the sweetness of intimacy, when this verse says here that they offer, although Krishna was paying respects to them and touching their feet and offer obeisances to them, they just stood there because they couldn't, in their hearts, there was no feeling of intimacy because they knew that they were in front of the Supreme Person. So they were just ready to hear whatever he said. And Krishna fixed that a little later in a few verses coming. He expanded his yoga maya, and they were able to swell, their hearts were able to swell with feeling. So in these verses in this chapter that we just finished, we're finishing today, Krishna has shown so much prowess, so much dexterity and artistry. He was fabulously dressed. And all this happening, he had sprinkled blood on himself, and he had blood from the elephant. He had the tusks, the elephant tusk. Krishna had one, Balaram had another. So this whole scene, this gorgeous boys, they were just 2 days in Mathura. First day they caused so much happening already. They had, the washerman and Kubja, and then today, this is the second day that, the Brijvasis were just camped outside the gate. And so they were just visitors. And Krishna and Balaram came in the second day. They were coming towards the arena, and the elephant blocked their path. And Krishna said, excuse me, time to go through, and they had orders to block them and kill them. So Krishna he played, game with Kudabalayapida. He went behind them, went behind his legs, the elephant couldn't see him. And then Krishna came to the front, and Kudabalayapida tried to punch, pierce Krishna with his tusks, and he pierced the earth, and it was Krishna easily killed him and his trainer. Now they entered the arena, sprinkled with the blood. They were dressed for wrestling, so they had their dhotis very well tied up, the hair tied back, the upper cloth well secured, so they could perform. And they faced the wrestlers, and then they faced Kamsa. And Kamsa was in a platform. And Nanda Maharaj was there watching all this, and the cowherd boys. So when Krishna and Balaram finished to wrestle with the Chanura and Mustika, they said, okay, I'm going to go play with my friends. So they started wrestling with the cowherd boys. And while they were wrestling with the cowherd boys won. And Kamsa was dumbfounded. He just couldn't believe it. And Kamsa was enraged. In the classes before, there was a very nice class talking about Kamsa's state of fear. He was, in that state, so he started shouting, "Oh, stop this music," because there were beautiful music in the scene. Stop the music, let's kill this, let's kill everybody, let's finish it all. And then Krishna, as soon as, Krishna comes to start talking about harming his devotees, Krishna got angry. And he jumped onto the platform where Kamsa was and grabbed him by his hair. In Srila Jiva Goswami mentions that when Krishna grabbed Kamsa by the hair, half of his life air came out of Kamsa. And then when Krishna just smashed him down, the rest of the life air came out. So it was quite a scene, and the wives were all watching it. When this happened, they were mortified. And then Kamsa's brothers, powerful Kshatriyas, they all came running, angry. They wanted to just, avenge their brother. Those were all sons of Ugrasena. So I was surprised by, reading, and meditating on these verses that Ugrasena had so many sons that were demons. Because I know that Kamsa was not actually his son. There was a pastime. There was some demon impersonated Ugrasena to impregnate, because he wanted to lie with the wife of Ugrasena. So that happened. This is like in those other texts that describe this pastime. And so the eight brothers, they were all killed there. So Devaki, I guess, was the only left child of Ugrasena. And Ugrasena was, King Ugrasena, he was so, he was put away. All the Vrishnis, they had fled Mathura. They were hiding in the countryside. So, and Ugrasena also, he was in prison. So Kamsa had, locked him up, and as well as Vasudeva and Devaki. So this was for the family, it was a big shock to have those eight. All the male just finished dead in the arena. That's why the wives were so distraught. But because they became purified. That's the beauty of association with Krishna. Krishna's presence purifies the three worlds. And they were purified by this association with Krishna. So So, and then, they finally, in verse 48, they finally came, it says here in the purport that they became purified by the agony of the recent offense by the association of Krishna. So this was verse 48. In continuing, Krishna performed the funeral rites. And Srila Deva Goswami says that Krishna personally took the body of Kamsa to the shore of the Jamuna and performed the funeral rites. So, so Krishna was kind of a center. Now the situation in Mathura was up in the air. And so the king is dead, all his brothers are dead, there are no, who's going to take care of everything. And there were the friends of Kamsa like Jarasandha, and they were ready to attack because they were friends, and so the situation was very precarious. So Kamsa, killed, and so Krishna was like a center point of stability in Mathura. And that's how, he decided to stay in Mathura because he wanted to go to Vraja. He wanted to go back to Vrindavan. But he was saying that if he went to Vrindavan, because he had killed all this, Kamsa, the enemies were going to attack Vrindavan. So out of, concern for the Vrijabasis, he was stopped from going. And he had to relate this message to Nanda Maharaj. Imagine, they had come just for a visit for 2 days, and all of a sudden, Krishna said, Dad, I just can't go back with you. And then Krishna was saying trying to convince Nanda that it was true that he was a son of Vasudeva. And he was saying, the prophecy said that the 8th son of Vasudeva was going to kill Kamsa. And Nanda was just, this is like a joke. No way. Because he had so much, Krishna was his son. So there was so much attachment. And they were sending messengers to Vrindavan. And Mother Yashoda wasn't eating until Krishna come back. So Krishna wrote a letter to her. And he wrote a letter to her, and Sridham was to deliver the letter. And the letter was saying that, Mother, I'm going to stay here for just a few more days to help to settle things up. And if you're not eating, I'm not eating. So that's how she was made to eat again, because he wasn't eating until she ate. So all the Vrishnis were coming back. There were more than just Vrishnis. There were other kind of clans of that dynasty. So they were all coming, Krishna bringing everybody back. So he kind of reorganized the kingdom. And him being so kind, he was apologizing to the wives of those dead. He was apologizing. He was sorry for the suffering that he caused them. And he mentions that, it was just predestined that he had to kill Kamsa. So he was trying to be nice and kind of soften up their grief. I wanted to, there's a nice part of the Krishna book that talks about this. So this is Krishna book, Killing of Kamsa, page 349. Kamsa had 8 brothers, headed by Kanka, all of them younger than he, And when they learned that their elder brother had been killed, they combined together and rushed towards Krishna in great anger to kill him. Kamsa and his brothers were all Krishna's maternal uncles, brothers of Krishna's mother, Devaki. When Krishna killed Kamsa, he killed his maternal uncle, which is against the regulations of Vedic injunctions. Although Krishna is independent of all Vedic injunctions, he violates the Vedic injunctions only in inevitable causes. Kamsa could not be killed by anyone but Krishna. Therefore, Krishna was obliged to kill him. But as far as Kamsa's 8 brothers were concerned, Balaram took charge of killing them. Balaram's mother, Rohini, although the wife of Vasudeva, was not the sister of Kamsa. Therefore, Balaram took charge of killing all of Kamsa's 8 brothers. He immediately took up an available weapon, and in parentheses says, most probably the elephant's tusk, which he carried, close parentheses, and killed the 8 brothers one after another, just as a lion kills a flock of deer. Krishna and Balaram thus verify the statement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appears to give protection to the pious and to kill the impious demons who are always enemies of the demigods. And so this is, Krishna, the result of Krishna killing. He purifies. And then Vasudeva, the next verse, mentioned about Vasudeva and Devaki. Vasudeva and Devaki, they have been in prison for so many years. Yesterday in class, he mentioned 20 years because they were in fear for so long. They had the 8 babies before, the babies before Krishna, and then so they've been in prison for a very, very long time, being mistreated. So, but they knew this was a pastime of the Lord, so they accepted that fate. But when Krishna came to free them from bondage, they were just praying. They had all that awe and reverence for him, and that's how they could not embrace them. Let's see here. So here, and after these verses concludes the pastimes of Krishna with the cowherd boys, with Nanda Maharaj, with the gopis, with Vrindavan. This is like closing the book on that part of Krishna's life. And Krishna's heart he was not very happy. He wanted to go back to Braja. So he had, now Krishna and Balaram were going to create new family ties. It says that when Krishna met Uddhava, they had never met before, but they were cousins. And there was this instant connection, and they were embraced and felt very, just like when Lord Chaitanya met Nityananda, it was like instant. So these connections are there. So with Uddhava was the same way. Krishna, immediately both of them embraced and felt very happy together. So now the kingdom was going to get a little established and be ruled by a pious king again. And under a pious king, the citizens are happy. The citizens are supplied their necessities, and all the dangerous forces are kept at bay. So no more, those dangerous demons terrorizing and prowling, looking for trouble. So, but now the Kshatriya problems are going to start in Krishna's life, like Jarasan, and Shishupal. Shishupal was also his family member. And Shishupal's mother I guess, when Krishna starts associating with them, Shishupal's mother made Krishna promise her that he would excuse her son's offenses. And Krishna said, okay. He was a very nice guy, Krishna, and he said, okay, but I'll excuse for 100 offenses. After that, he's on his own. So when that happened, if you can remember, later on in the past times, when the Rajasuya sacrifice was taking place, they made Krishna the honored personality. And at that, Shishupala just couldn't stand anymore. So he got up and started telling in front of everybody. That was his way to, like Krishna sort of mentioned yesterday, how Shishupala just started doing offenses after just criticizing Krishna that he had done this and that. Offenses in front of everybody. So like a great platform to offend Krishna in front of everybody. But and then Krishna was counting. All right, 98, 99, and 100. And Krishna just got his Sudarshan and chopped his head. No mercy there. 100 as promised. So, Krishna does all these incredible feats, like killing those heavy, enormous bodied wrestlers and big king. The king was huge, and so he does all this effortlessly. And he has time, to look at the audience and to connect with them. He's like multi-functioned artist. He's a transcendental artist. He's a very attractive personality because of his effortless way that he performs everything. And so here in these 3 verses we had, the wives, and we had Sukadeva Goswami. He spoke here, talking to Maharaj Parikshit, saying that Krishna arranged the funeral rites. So this is like, he's telling Parikshit of something that's going to happen still. It hasn't happened yet. It will happen. Because and then, Krishna, after he frees their Vasudeva and Devaki, and then he goes to the funeral rites. This is how Jiva Goswami, the sequence that Jiva Goswami has put it in his Gopala Champa. And, so here we have to say that, it's an important thing that we continue reading these great pastimes, and it's going to get very heart-wrenching, the next chapters, because, Krishna is feeling separation from Vrindavan. So this, it's all, we are going to experience all this by, reading the Bhagavatam. We are very fortunate to be able to have this literature and know about Krishna's inner feelings, and knowing that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is this gorgeous blue boy that had many friends and girlfriends, and how he expands in a bigger picture. He expands himself into his pleasure potency, that is Radharani, and how Lord Chaitanya, in his own abode in the spiritual world, living eternally and simultaneously with the Goloka pastimes. So all this this knowledge that Srila Prabhupada's given us is we treasure it, and we are grateful for being able to engage our minds in relishing these pastimes. Okay, so this is about all I had to say today. Are there any questions or comments?
Hare. So our religionists may say, well, all we're hearing is that your Lord is killing and killing and killing, whereas the Buddha or Jesus, they never kill. Like Jesus was, he turned the other cheek. So how would you answer to them?
Just like Krishna purifies everything, you can reason Krishna with your material mind. You will never be able to understand Krishna with your material logic. You have to dive deeper into the transcendental realm to be able to understand Krishna's activities. And Srila Prabhupada, he mentioned in many classes how Krishna has to be understood through bhakti. And so when you understand that Krishna's activities are not partial to the good or the bad for people, Krishna's activities are good for all. And that's when you're able to understand that his healing and his giving a flower, it's all for the benefit of that person. Shesha Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Maybe I missed what you said. How are those 8 brothers, Kamsa's 8 brothers, were they like conceived demoniacally like Kamsa, or how?
No, that's one point that is up for research. I only had so much time, but it's something that it's a question in my mind. That, how come Ugrasena had 8 more brothers that were demonic, that had demonic tendencies? Or maybe, I'm just using my own reason here, they were just enraged because his brother had been killed. But I believe Srila Prabhupada mentioned the demonic brothers. So yeah, Ugrasena didn't have much luck there. And he's the grandfather of Krishna, so, we can never judge anybody or anything by their offsprings, because Ugrasena is a pious king, and we are all individuals, and you're connected, especially Ugrasena, just connected. He's there in that position, to supply Krishna with the right ingredients for his pastimes. Jai. All glories to Prabhupada. What's your wife? How did you know? How do you know her? If she's the one.
She checked on the internet and I got age and got 9 years and we're moved to the only day.
She's doing it on